Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WRESTLEBUDDY RAW Recap with the Drip King, Jimmy Bay. I am back. Missed last week. No voice. WrestleMania, KO Mania, if you want to call it that. That's what happened. I'm glad to be back. We had a good Raw. This is probably the Raw that we should have gotten after WrestleMania last week, because last week's was poo-poo. Doo-doo, whatever you want to call it, was that. Tonight's show was really good. I feel like they got a lot done tonight. So we're just going to jump right into it. It starts off with Miz TV, and his guest host is the person he'll be taking on later in the evening, Mr. Cody Rhodes. What we got here was probably the best Miz TV segment we've had in years. I really enjoyed it. The way they're presenting Cody is it's fantastic so far. The debut of WrestleMania was amazing. His promo last week is more the same of what we've been seeing since the AEW stuff, but it was really good. And then tonight on Miz TV, just more good stuff with him. Some little tidbits we got. He's talking about Miz. You haven't changed at all, Miz. That's false, because Miz has gotten so much better. I know he's had his hiccups here lately. I think that's more to do with just staleness and booking. But when Miz is on it, Miz is on it. And tonight he was in this segment with Cody. Cody was calling people wrestlers, and he mentioned the title. And then Miz is like, yo, no, he called it a belt. And Miz is like, hey, it's a title. Belts hold up your pants. That was funny. And then they mentioned a Seth Rollins rematch rumor that's been going around. We'll get to that in a little bit. But overall, this was a good segment. I don't know if I opened the show with it, but they did. The crowd was hot for Cody, so maybe I'm wrong there. I liked it. What's up, Courtney, in the chat? After that, we go to Dominic versus Veer, and I'm so sad I missed. If I'm mad about anything that I missed last week, it's the fact that I missed Veer's debut, and I can't let everybody know that Veer came last week, and he came hard on the Mysterios. Tonight was supposed to be Ray versus Veer. Ray was not there. He didn't even come out with Dom, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Hopefully everything's good with Ray. There's no issues there. But yeah, that was supposed to happen. It didn't. It was Veer versus Dominic, and what you would guess happened in this match is exactly what happened in this match. Veer strip dominated Dom. I like his camel clutch variation that he does, wrenching on the neck with the arm pinned back. It looks like it might actually hurt. Dom tapped right away, and Veer wasn't done. He just kept wrenching on it. They broke it up. He threw them off, got back on, did it again. Eventually, Dom comes. They take him out on a stretcher. So Veer looks like a absolute monster here in his first match. It is against Dom, but that's how it should start. Start off small, grow from there. I enjoyed the segment. Go to commercial, come back, and they interview Veer in the back, and he basically talking about like he's striking fear into people or the mystery. I didn't catch the end of it, but I know he said he's striking fear, and when that boy come, everybody's fearful. Then they go from the interview to Dom being put in an ambulance and taken away. So Dom, it might be off TV for a while. And another thing worth noting is, like I said, it was supposed to be Ray, but again, Ray wasn't there. Very, very strange booking there. After that, we go to AJ being interviewed, and he's saying he's afraid of what he's going to do tonight to Damian. He was dumb last week trying to take on two people at once, but this time he's got Damian Priest in a match. He looks forward to it. As that's happening, Damian Priest is walking through the backstage, and AJ just attacks him. They separate him. Commercial break. Come back. It's the AJ Styles versus Damian Priest match. So we're getting right into that. It was a good match, and then something happened where AJ got taken out at ringside. Damian Priest came in. The lights just started going down, kind of like the Fiend thing used to go. It was like power down, power down, power down, until there was just the blue light shining on Damian. He was doing some weird faces, and then it went to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Match is over with. I don't know what happened there. It was very weird. Probably the one downfall of this week's show is that was just really weird. And I hope it's not something they stick with. And they go to the commercial. They go to in the back. AJ Styles is mad, just like everyone watching. He's like, "Well, what the heck was that? That's not what I signed up for." He wants to get his hands on Damian Priest, so they're going to stretch this out a little bit longer. Again, it was very, very weird way to end the match. WWE will find the ways to end matches with I don't know. It was weird. I'm not going to give it any more attention. We're just going to the next segment because, yeah, it was bad. Top of the hour, we're getting Cody versus Miz, and good job, boys, because this match was really, really good. Before, we had Seth Rollins coming out. He coming out, fancy suit. I got to get that. It's so nice. So nice. Drip of God, doing his thing. But he comes out to watch at ringside. Cody and Miz have themselves a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Cody wins. Good stuff. Obviously, Cody wins. After the match, he's out there and he's celebrating. And then Seth sneaks in the ring, gets behind him, grabs the mic, and says, you had all the advantages last time. I want a rematch. Cody says yes. No doubt about it. Cody's here. He's a man of the people, and he's going to give the people what they want. They want Cody versus Seth too. I imagine this will be at WrestleMania Backlash. I'm not mad because it's the Backlash from WrestleMania, and obviously this fits the bill for that. So hopefully these guys can put out another banger of a match in the rematch, and yeah, I am looking forward to that. Also, if you pay attention to the WrestleBuddy podcast, I said Rollins would be Cody's first feud after WrestleMania. Thank you. I was correct. Once again, that's what I do. After that, we go to Ciampa in the back, and it's so ridiculous that WWE changes these names for people. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. And they did it again. They changed Tommaso Ciampa's name to Tommaso Ciampa. We are all outraged by this. It is insane. I can't believe they would do that. But that's beside the fact. Ezekiel comes up and he interrupts the thing. He's like, "Hey, I'm Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother." Then Kevin Owens shows up because you're a liar. They're keeping the whole he's a liar. Kevin Owens not liking the Ezekiel thing. Ezekiel's like, "You're wrong. You're a liar, Kevin Owens." So he ends up leaving. It was very short for Ezekiel this week. Kevin Owens like, "You're not believing that, right?" And then Tommaso Ciampa's like, "That's not Elias. That's Ezekiel, his younger brother." So everyone is believing it except for Kevin Owens. And so, Kevin Owens is going to sell it like only Kevin Owens can. It was good stuff. Very, very funny. From there, we go to Liv versus Naomi. Another mishap or confusion going on because they said we were getting a tag title match this week. Sasha, Naomi versus Liv and Rhea. Not happening. We're getting Liv versus Naomi. I'm not complaining because they didn't win last week. They shouldn't get a title match this week. But another interesting thing, just like Ray not being with Dom, Rhea was not here this week. So, again, not sure what's happening there. But Liv and Naomi, they had themselves a nice little match. Naomi ends up getting the win. That's nice to see because Naomi shouldn't be taking losses. She should be getting built up, back up to a main event level player because she is that good. So that was the match. She won on they switched up roll-ups. Liv did one, then Naomi reversed it, Liv reversed it, and then Naomi reversed it one more time. It was a nice little segment. Nice little match. Good job, ladies. From there, commercial break, come back. Bobby Lashley has crashed the VIP lounge before MVP and Omos can come out because it's supposed to be MVP and Omos on the show tonight. Bobby Lashley cuts a promo talking about he basically demanded MVP come out there. He wants a answer for why did you do what you did last week. MVP and Omos walk out on the stage. Omos is dressed up in a nice little suit, looking fresh, looking like he's part of the Hurt Business now. And MVP basically lets it be known. When I got here, you were floundering, Bobby. I resurrected you. And then now you're trying to say you don't need me. I made you. Omos is the future. Bobby Lashley's like, you didn't do that. I did all that. And he goes, you didn't do it until I was here. And without me at your side, look what happened to you. You need me. Anyway, it was actually a really fun segment. Bobby Lashley, he started off slow. He delivered towards the end. MVP, money as always. He delivered the fire. Yes, babe, not this week. I didn't have time. But yes, next week I will deliver it with him. Thank you very much, babe. But yes, Bobby Lashley, again, he came back and MVP as always. Just money. From there we go to a 24/7 segment. And I know everyone usually hates them, but tonight there's two of them tonight, and I found them to be pretty funny. It's playing on the marriage stuff between Tozawa and Tamina, and then Reggie and Dana. We have a bachelor party with Truth, Reggie, and Tozawa. Our Truth is setting something up. He's got a plan to get his baby back, and I think this has to do with it. So it was just, he's like, hey, where's the 24/7 title? You should have it around. You should be protecting it. And then they're like, no, it's with Dana, and they're at the bachelorette party. So R-Truth's like, So he's concocting an idea, plan something. He got to get that. He got to get his baby back. So that's that segment. We come back. Austin Theory is in the back. And here's another thing people are going to complain about. Austin Theory is no longer Austin Theory. He's now Theory. Now, some name changes, I agree, are silly. This one, it kind of plays into what we saw at WrestleMania. Austin Theory took the stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Austin took out Vince McMahon, who is Austin Theory's mentor. And now in this, they called him Austin Theory. He goes, no, me and Vince decided that it's just going to be Theory now. We're going to drop the Austin because of their altercation with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it makes sense. Again, this name changes are silly sometimes. At least they made this one have some kind of sense added to it. I'm not mad. I think Theory works on its own. From there, he leaves. In comes Kevin Owens. He's still so mad about this Ezekiel stuff. He wants to get into his documents and find things. He wants his birth certificate, driver's license, library card, something like that. And Pierce's like, that stuff's confidential, Kevin. He goes, this library card's confidential. Kevin Owens just, the man will never fail us. He will never fail us. He is just good at whatever we stick him into. He's money. Thank you, Kevin, for being who you are. You are amazing. Ended when he says, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to figure this out on my own. I want a lie detector test next week with Ezekiel. So that's what we're getting next week. I look forward to the segment because like last week, I was saying on the Twitter machine, I think the Ezekiel stuff is hilarious. I think it's a troll job by Vince because everyone's always complaining that he's changing people's names for no reason. So here it is. And he is going to, he's elevating it, and putting it with Kevin Owens is the most brilliant thing because, as I said just moments ago, Kevin Owens delivers with everything he does. So he's going to help this Ezekiel thing get over. And Elias Ezekiel, whatever you want to call him right now, in a month, it'll just be Ezekiel because you will love this gimmick. He knows how to get over with these fans. We saw it before with the guitars and the songs and all the stuff he did. But yes, next week, Lie Detector Test. I'm excited for it. Next up, we got Bianca Belaire versus Queen Zelena. Queen Zelena looked strong right out the gate, but it did not last long. Bianca Belaire got control and then squashed her. This match could have been a lot more fun. It just wasn't. They didn't give it enough time. But yeah, Bianca squashed her. Afterwards, Sonya Deville came out, and she says she's got Bianca's next opponent. She basically lists everybody on the Raw roster, and that women's Raw roster is very nice. I just wish they'd utilize some of the talent a little bit better. And they still got more people coming in, apparently. She mentioned Alexa Bliss. She didn't mention Bayley or Asuka, which is who we are waiting for, but they're coming. So she goes, sign this open contract, and then I'll introduce them. Bianca's like, I don't care because I'm the strongest, the bestest, the bravest, the EST, whatever, all the stuff. Signs the contract. Then they say, here's your opponent. And then Bianca turns around. And then right then I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. And Bianca gets attacked from behind by Sonya Deville. And then Sonya signs it, says, I'm your next opponent. Adam Pearce was not happy about this. He said, you're abusing your power. So Sonya will probably not be a GM much longer. I like that. She should be competing because she could bring something to the women's division. Maybe move her back over to SmackDown, though. They need help. After that, we go to the bachelorette party from the 24/7 segment, and the girls are having themselves a good time. Tamina says, once these things are done, I'm coming back for that title. In comes Nikki Ash, and she's having a fun time, and she goes, oh, but before that, the Los Lotharios, Angel Garza and Humberto were there, giving the girls kisses, because that's what they do, ladies, man. And then Nikki says, I got you guys some dancers. So they look over, the guys start dancing, and then they find out one's a referee. They attack Nikki Ash, put her on the bar, and then slide her down, the old gag they do in the movies. Funny. Then the boys come from the bachelor party, and then R-Truth's like, everybody stop, because he shows a certificate so he can marry people, and he goes, all this nonsense is going to stop because nobody loved that 24/7 title more than me. That's my baby, but we're not going to challenge for that thing no more until you guys get married, and I'm going to do it next week when I marry both of y'all. Part of R-Truth's plan. I feel like next week he is going to get his baby back, and then we will have a new group of 24/7 title competitors, because these ones are getting a little stale. As funny as Nice was, these are the same people who've been around it for a while. They need to re-up, get some new people, or 24/7 segment is going to get really bad as opposed to just bad. But again, tonight's were funny. I enjoyed them, and I saw quite a few people that usually hate on them that actually enjoyed them tonight. So it's not just me being a WWE homer or drone, whatever you want to call it. They were good tonight. They were funny. And if you don't like funny, then don't watch them. After that, we go to RK Bro versus Alpha Academy before the match. Chad Gable does what he does, entertaining as hell. I wish... I don't know what they're doing with the tag titles, but I wish they treated Chad Gable, the Alpha Academy team, a little bit better as opposed to just being the job guys now. They're going to just be the guys who give you a good match, but they're going to lose. That's what their gimmick is going to be now. And it sucks because, again, Chad Gable is so good. But it was a good match between the two. Randy wins when he RKOs Chad Gable 1, 2, 3. After that, they're celebrating in the ring. Usos on the Titantron, whatever it's called these days. They're showing up, getting out of the Escalade. And they're like, word RK Bro, where they at, Us? We the ones. Whatever the Usos do all the time, that's what's happening. The ones, that stuff, down since day one. Commercial break, come back, they come out. RK Bro's waiting for them. They start talking. Unifying the titles. That's what we're talking about. Before we go any further, I am all for unifying the tag titles. It's the one group of titles I agree with 100% that should be unified. There are not enough tag teams between two shows for two sets of belts. One set of belts, treat it like the women's tag titles, and then get rid of those because they're not needed anyway. But one set of tag ties between both shows. That way, the 6 tag teams between both shows, we're not just getting the same matches literally every single week between them. You don't need 2 sets of belts for 6 teams. That's just me. It should be all you. It's a silly idea. Back to what's happening though. Before RK Bro and Usos can get really into things, out comes the Street Profits talking about, we wanted our one-on-one match with RK Bro and we didn't get it because Alpha Academy stepped in, and then we beat Alpha Academy last week, and now the Usos trying to use their bloodline privilege to jump the line. We want our shot. And the Usos said there is one line, and that's the bloodline. And then Randy said, hey, nobody wants to hear y'all talk. They want to see y'all fight. Do it. And then leaves the ring. He finessed the shit out of that. And that's your main event. We getting the Usos versus Street Profits. And did they deliver? Of course they did. It was a banger of a main event match. Montez Ford, I think this man got higher this week than he's ever gotten before with that Frog Splash. It was beautiful. But the Usos, best tag team WWE, top 3 in the world today. They end up getting the win. After the match, RK Bro comes in. They both hold their titles, like posing, ours are better. I don't know what the deal with that is, but like, look at ours. And then they're like, look at ours. Usos go to leave. Dawkins, for whatever reason, tries to attack Randy from behind, and then they fall to the floor. Montez getting up, Randy RKO's him. Usos slide back in, super kick Randy, and that's that. They pick up the Raw tag titles and they're holding them up. Commentary's like, Usos with all the gold. And it's like, yo, that's not even gold, the silver. You crazy, you stupid. Don't say that. But the Usos, I definitely feel are going to be the ones that unify the tag titles. It makes sense because, again, they are the best tag team in WWE. They should be. The match between RK Bro and Usos will be great because the last two were really good. And with this being the final one between them, because RK Bro is not going to be around much longer, I expect them to really go all out. This would be a WrestleMania Backlash match for sure. The card for WrestleMania Backlash is looking like it might be really legit, and not just festered with a bunch of rematches from WrestleMania. There's some rematches sprinkled in with some new ones. I like it. There's going to be some good stuff. It's looking to be a good show. But that's the show. It was, again, I really enjoyed tonight's show. This would have been a good one to do last week after WrestleMania. Coupled in with the Veer Mahan debut and the Ezekiel debut, it would have been really good last week. So looks like Raw's back on track, at least for the time being, that we'll just completely forget last week's happened, with the exception of Veer coming and Ezekiel coming, because there's only two good things happened last week. So yeah, that's the show. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the love, and I will see you all Wednesday night for the AEW Dynamite recap. Yeah, so that's it. Goodbye. Boom. Nope, we still live. We still live. Montez.